So here I am on day one of Gerre's escape trip number one, and it's going to be number one, and it's windy. So this is going to be a windy recording, but here I am out in, I guess it's Eagar, Eagar. No idea how to pronounce it, near Springerville, near Alpine. And this is the second property I looked at, land and lot, and it actually looks like the photographs, which is saying something, and it really is stunning. But interesting trip up, and left this morning 7 o'clock, windows down. Phoenix was still warm, probably at 90 degrees, and it was warm all the way up. So I came up through Superior and then to Globe, and Superior, sort of the cool of the canyons, breaking up through Superior was the first time that I felt anything that felt like cool after this 2020 summer of 110 degrees Fahrenheit for 50 days straight, and another week of it. And so I'm escaping from the heat. I'm escaping to look for my future land and lot to build my little factory built blue sky systems, galvanized steel, glass and concrete home somewhere. And I may be completely out of my mind, but I'm opening up to look at anywhere in Arizona, and I have to tell you, this looks really beautiful. And I'm sort of letting my spirit lead, and I've been doing the satellite maps all over Arizona. I'm doing a whole Arizona MLS search for land and lot, and some of it doesn't come up. Some of it you actually have to go to the town and look at the local realtors and see what they're doing. But so I looked at a property in Globe, and when I went through Globe, first of all through Miami, and Golden Girls definitely didn't live there, and Globe was a little disappointing. And then there was a little road off to the side for the historic district, and when you sort of come around the hill and look back left, you can see the sort of the historic and probably more residential, and it looks interesting. But I went to the place, looked at the land, and it didn't look like the photographs. It just looked like the dry, arid, barren Arizona, and I think I want to be away from that. I really don't want to be in the cold, but maybe that's where I'm heading. I really don't want to be in this excruciating heat. And part of this is, it's a 5-year plan, so 70 of age, and part of it is I just everywhere I've lived in the United States, at least for 10 years, everybody else has discovered it. Cape May, here, Hamilton not so much, because that was a real strange little town. But everything got busy, and Phoenix got busy, and Phoenix is the #1 growing city in the United States, and you can feel it. And the pollution is there. Don't love the pollution. I really am just so done with people. I'm done with intrusive neighbors, ignorant neighbors, barking dog neighbors, open fire burning neighbors, fabric softener laundering neighbors. And my friend Lily said to me, but you're a people person, you're going to be lonely. This may be a complete silly fantasy, I don't know, but I'm exploring it, and I'm letting my spirit take me in places that I've looked at. When you first see it, your heart goes, ugh! And this is what this little land in Eagar did to me, and I'm like, oh. And then coming through, I came through from Globe, went up to, and there's a junction that goes around to Fort Apache and round, and there was a little part going through the native territories where it was, fallow. It was just fields, yellow flowers, rolling hills, bits of pinyon pine, and it was like speaking to me. So I'm being following along. So it's been an interesting journey. So and the thing that's always so disappointing with coming through native territories, and I stopped at the junction to go down to Fort Apache, and there was a little native reservation, gas station, convenience store, and as always, they're aesthetically unpleasing. They really look like something from the third world, burglar bars everywhere. Anyway, so went in, asked directions, and buy a cool drink, and delightful young girl, but snap, you're not wearing a mask. And I'm like, I'm medically exempt, thank you. And by the way, is this the junction to go down to Fort Apache? And she kind of looked at me like, why the hell would you want to go to Fort Apache? And I didn't let on that I'm kind of done with people, but she can make up her own mind. But otherwise, she was pleasant and went down the road. And it's just been this wonderful, quiet, slow drive. And I was right to wait until Monday of Labor Day and not Sunday. And I was going to go Sunday, but I had a contract issue that I had to resolve on Saturday, so I kind of wasn't ready. And really, Sunday just gave me the time to sit back and plan it and book it out, and kept changing my triptych and be ready and pack. Usually I just throw things into a bag. Well, this time I thoroughly packed and made sure I was prepared for this journey. But you go through the native reserve, and then you get to, and I think it's this place called Honda. It's two words, Honda. And it's sort of the junction where the native reserve ends. And because I wanted to get away from that wagon train of cars, whoosh, 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 RVs and what have you. Very little traffic going my way, which was a delight. And I stop in there, and of course the gas station, I didn't need gas, and my car runs on the smell of an oil rag. But it was packed, and I thought, well, I'll go in there, use the restroom, get a cool drink. And as soon as I walk in, they're yelling. I'm yelling about the mask. I'm not used to having people yell at me in anger. And I turned around and said, I'm medically exempt. She's still yelling. And I noticed no restrooms. And the same thing with all the native stores. Barren shelves, no ice, no conveniences. I'm like, how do you have a restaurant with no toilet? So anyway, kept going, happy to. And part of me was this learning journey. Is I don't want to be anywhere near a native reserve, because if you want to see socialism in the United States, go to the native territories where you see senior native people living in homes with dirt floors. I mean, how is that possible in the United States? It's like third world Africa, and I grew up in Africa. It really is shameful. But I needed a restroom, so I looked, going through this beautiful pine forest, and here's a side road with a grid. Nip down there, get away from the road as much as I could. Didn't say no posted, so I was, or no trespassing, so I went down there, and and I'm standing there and then looking up at these beautiful pine trees and swaying, and that sound almost like sort of the ebb tide, the calming sound of the ebb tide and happy birds. And I'm like, I could get used to this. And quiet and not friggin' people. So we'll see if this is day one, and staying in Springerville, because all the lodgy mount places were fully booked. And I'm staying at Al Joe Motor Inn, and we'll see what that's like. But I went to Subway's, got lunch, and the people there were unmasked, thank God. And there was a lady, senior lady in front of me, a senior lady behind me. We got chatting, and she asked me whether this Subway was having the deals that they were on TV, and I said, well, probably not. It depends on the location. No harm in asking. She looked at me with this blank face. She said, excuse me, and I said, no harm in asking. Still the blank face. I went, no harm in asking, and I didn't do no harm in asking. And then she looked at me, she said, I understood you. She said, I just never heard it said like that. But I asked her, I said, I'm looking at land. How is it? And she said, well, it's small town. Everyone will love your business. But she said, here or Alpine, and beautiful. And I said, well, how is the weather? And she said, we had 4 seasons, and it's beautiful as it is today. I mean, it's 100 degrees. It doesn't feel like 100 degrees. I don't know why. And there's a breeze. It's cloudy. But she said Alpine. And the caution, of course, I'm coming up this road, and it was like, no winter service November through May. So this is 4x4, or this is a summer lodge. But I'm going to walk around and do some more filming. And I mean, there is asphalt road till this little turnoff. And the surprise is GPS works. I mean, I've gone to new builds in Scottsdale, and none of them GPS. So, you know, if I'm doing an open house, I go the week before to check it out because I'm directionally challenged. But I GPSed everything. I even GPS Costco's gas station, and the first plot of land GPSed. This GPSed, which surprised me. And you know, once you turn off the asphalt road, it is 5 mile an hour road. It's like the road to Mokumbora. You know, bumpy, but it's actually hard service and not bad at all. So I'm, you know, and there's the hill, Lily's Hill, that I sent her a picture of. I mean, it is distance, but you know, it's like these beautiful bald grass hills, and over here just this little sprinkling of pinyon pines, and as the sort of sun catches each one, not hard to look at, you know, for the, you know, your final years. And this gentle breeze and this rolling hill, and you know, I'm not going to miss cacti, I'm not going to miss swallows, you know, I'm not going to miss rattlesnakes. I'm sure there's things out here, but at least you can see the damn things coming out here, and it's peaceful, it's lovely. So we'll see what Alpine's like. So anyway, that's the first video of the day 2, Bisbee tomorrow, and that's going to be a long haul, and then I'm Sierra Vista. And the irony is that I met someone who lived there on a hike, and my roommate at the time was like, "Where do you live?" And he went, "Sierra Vista." And I went, "Why?" I'm like, why would you, as a gay couple, big gay men, want to be isolated far out there? And now I'm seeing this property out there, and it's like, you know, I've heard so much about, you know, the South and Patagonia, the vineyards. Bisbee just seems like freaking so far away, but I guess when you're home, you know, where you're there, you've arrived. It wouldn't make any difference. But I want to explore, and we'll be back by Thursday, so I'm trekking around. Tonight here, Bisbee, third night in Tucson, but it's on the west side of Tucson, and then I'm going to hopefully meet Joanna Hanna, a real estate colleague, and she's moved back to Tucson, just catch up and find out where her land lies, and then back up through Florence and back to Phoenix, and hopefully the heat will have ended. So there's my journey.